All right, so here we go. When looking for swing trading, you really want to focus on the weekly and the daily, and especially if you want to set it, before the market opens, or deal or let it trade by itself. You can do that by setting limit orders beforehand. You can set it good till canceled, and it'll trade it semi-automatic for you. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is if you click this little squarish thing, it'll make the weekly nice and big. Actually, here we go. That's your weekly, nice and big, and it's automatically set up for the strat system right here. Okay, and when I do the strat system, I'm just really looking for a sense of direction. You can go deeper into it by watching the video that is either on YouTube or in our Discord. But I'm basically looking at a couple of things. Number one, I'm looking at the weekly, monthly, quarterly. Actually, I can even look at the daily. So the daily seems to be bullish, but weekly, monthly, quarterly, and that's the main one that you want to see. Weekly, monthly is bearish. Quarterly is up. Okay, so this one is good if you're looking at it long-term basis. Today they just did their earnings, and obviously disappointed. They even gave us a warning that it'll disappoint, and Nvidia is down almost 4%. So the weekly, monthly is that the two arrows that you want to see. Okay, and one of the ways to kind of be able to set like the support and resistance for day trading is basically being able to cover the top wick on the previous week, and then the bottom of the previous week right there. Okay, so that kind of gives you the top and the bottom, and whichever way that it breaks, that's the trade that you are actually not on the weekly. On the weekly, that kind of sets up the support and resistance. And if you're somewhere in the middle over here, if it touches that, that will likely be your take profit. So let's say you're buying it. If it touches 175.86, that will likely be your take profit. Okay, again, because you're working, you're not watching the market all day long. And suppose you were around the mid ones, let's say 170, right? The moment you hit 175.86, that's where you want to get out and take profit. And at the same time, if it drops all the way down to 169, that's the total number, that's the loss that you're willing to take. So it's based upon the strat system. All righty. So now now that we've gotten that part, okay, we go to the daily. And as a matter of fact, when we look at the daily, let me go back. Ooh. When we look at the daily, I've been able to draw Fibonacci levels like right around 190. And sure enough, it has hit that part like 4 times. So Fibonacci level, it should have already changed by now. Okay, so that's the latest Fibonacci level, which changes every day. Okay, but let's do this. Okay, so moving forward, after earnings, we know that it's down to 165. Okay, so more than likely, if tomorrow it gaps down, you know that it's going to be trading lower. So since we already know that it's going to be trading lower, you want to be able to, where is, Here we go. We can take the horizontal ray and pick a situation where it is at the low end where you have 1, 2, 3 touches. Okay. So that'll be around 147. Okay. So that'll be kind of like your target. Or better yet, let's keep it consistent and hit the auto fib retracement. Yeah, let's hit the auto fib retracement and keep it simpler. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is, let's say it opens at around 165. Okay, what you want to do is your take profit is going to be at 157 right there because the Fibonacci provides a support and resistance. Okay, and then here the next Fibonacci level happens to be 382. Hello. Why is it not? I'm doing something wrong. Oh. Control. Oh, I can't draw it. Okay. Let's do this. We're going to.
I think it's because you have your magnet thing on. I think you need to click the horizontal ray thing again if you're trying to do a line.
Oh, is that what am I?
I think so. But if you look at the 382, it should give you the number right there on the line.
Yeah, it 382. Here you go. 176.99. Actually, it's even written here.
Yep.
Okay. So 17. So if you're going to get a put on NVIDIA, okay, 177 basically is your stop loss. So once it crosses over here, you're going to get out of it automatically. Okay. So there's a way for you to be able to put in an order where you say that you're going to enter at a price of, let's say, 165. So this is done before the market is open. So you're going to buy it at a limit of 165 with a take profit of 167 and a loss of 177. Okay, a stop loss as a 177. A lot of the programs have that function in their platform, number one. Also, number two, they have short videos that teach you exactly how to do that within your system. Okay, so that's one of the ways for you to swing trade a position and be able to come in and out of an NVIDIA. Okay, now that is for day trading. Okay, now with day trading, it's unless you're able to look at it at the live numbers on options, or go to Yahoo Finance and look at the pricing and options, is really tough to set up a enterprise, a take profit stop loss. Okay, so if you want to be able to do that, definitely reach out to me and we'll go over that based upon the platform that you have. But in terms of setting the take profit stop loss, this is what you would primarily use, which is your Fibonacci levels. Alrighty. Now, this is what you have. Let's get rid of the Fibonacci numbers. Now we're looking at, and as a matter of fact, let's look at the 24. So this was NVIDIA today. Okay. right here was NVIDIA today. Okay. And so a couple of things that I do before entering NVIDIA is I use the 9MA against the yellow. You always want to see the volume. I've started using two others. You don't have to do it. Okay. Let me show it. Actually, let me show it without it. Okay. So that way we can go over the numbers. All right. The proper entry, that is. All right. So this was today. And you don't want to enter the first 20-30 minutes. Okay. So even though it's going down, if you decided, oh no, FOMO, and you enter it, this is what happens. It turns around on you, and the next thing you know is that you're losing. Okay. So what you want to be able to do is take a look at the first buy signal, which is here. So when you look at the first buy signal right there, okay, you're looking for the buy signal. Is there a doji within the last 4 candles? Doji basically is whenever you see a star. Okay. So Zoe, if you don't see the doji, you want to wait for it. Okay. If you have it, it's great. If it's not, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't enter it. It's just that you don't have a confirmation. Okay. So you're looking at this. Okay. The next one is the candle breaking above the yellow line? And you notice that it's breaking above the yellow line. So you do have one confirmation in regards to that. The next question is it breaking the blue line? And here's your blue line. Okay. So the body doesn't break through the blue line. So that's a no-go. Is there a above average volume? And you'll notice that it is on the above average volume. So let's give it a confirmation, a positive confirmation. Now, is it above the ORB5 and is it above the VWAP? So this is where I would put the ORB5, and ORB basically means opening range boundaries. Okay, so basically what the orb does, and this is a recent addition to TradingView, what the orb does is that it creates kind of like a mini range in which buyers and sellers are basically fighting. This is their fighting grounds, so to speak. And as long as they are within it, there's no clear direction as to whether it's going to go down or it's going to go up. And so right here, it's touching the lower end of the orb, but it hasn't broken through. The body has not broken through. And then the next one is VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. Okay. And so when you look at it, it definitely touches it, but it hasn't gone over it. Okay, so this is a risky entry. Now we can look at it right now and say, yeah, hindsight is 20/20, and this would have been a perfect entry. But when you're here, okay, here's your sell signal. You know, it would have been nice if you got in yesterday and then rode it all the way down, but there's nothing here other than that. This is where you get scared. Zoe, I wouldn't even enter it here because one of the key rules about trading is don't think about how much money you're going to make. Think of how much money you're going to lose. Okay, so when you see this in real time, every 10 minutes, okay, this is not a very high confidence entry. Okay, so it's best to wait for another spot. All right, so the next 10 minutes you see that and you go, hey, that's better. Okay, that buy signal is confirmed. in the next candle now is touching the blue line, yellow line, and it's the majority of it actually is above VWAP. So this is pretty good. The volume is still fairly high. See how yesterday the volume was fairly low. Okay, so this is above average, and you could enter it here. Okay, but again, you're taking a risk. All right. Let's see, Michelle, how are you reviewing sectors? Could you please go over? Yeah, remind me.
Those are just things I'm thinking about as you're going. So
Okay,
just
cool.
for later, whenever.
Yeah, definitely remind me to go over it during Q&A. So this might be a good entry, but is risky. Okay. So here you see, because the yellow has now crossed over the blue. Here, however, the yellow has crossed the blue. So now you have a higher confidence of entry. Okay. Could you enter here? Yeah, you could. You have a higher chance that this is going to be a winner in comparison to that. Okay. So you look at the next line, and now you see a doji. Okay. So a doji kind of serves as a compression. It's creating, so if this is a 10-minute chart. If you look at the 1 minute or 2 minute candles, this is probably a bullish pennant of sorts. So that's why you want to look at and look for dojis. And like Michelle said, you know, if she does 1 or 2 minutes, it's just, you know, too much looking at it and it's stressful. With 10 minutes, the beauty of it is that you can take a look at it, you know, take a look at it when it's ended. Okay. Now, for the next 10 minutes, you can look at something else. You can read news about it. You can read fundamentals on the particular stock. You can go back and look at the Fibonacci levels on a daily basis and see whether or not this is a strong stock. So by and large, if you're going to buy something, go buy only strong stocks. If you're going to go put or sell something, always go on a bad stock. Okay, like a coin, for example. That thing goes up and down. It has been going up for a few days, and yeah, it's showing strength, but overall, it's not a high quality stock. So you want to just skip those. You want to get in when it shows weakness in price and be able to buy a put. With NVIDIA, if it's going down continuously, you don't want to get a put unless the trend is like really there. But typically the trend is down, the stock is going down. Tomorrow it's likely to continually go down. Don't get into a put if you want to have a higher opportunity of winning. Get into it when it shows strength. Get into it when you can get a call. Okay, so go with the trend, go with the quality of the stock. Okay, either direction. Okay, now let's jump over here. Now compare this entry, which is, you know, a good entry. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 confirmations that this is a good entry versus this one right here. Okay, where you have not only 5 confirmations, right, but now you actually have the wick even touching the outside bound of the orb, but it's not out of it. Does that mean you shouldn't take it? No. Okay. As a matter of fact, if we turn it off, it looks like a very, very strong entry. So when you enter here, okay, let's say you entered it, say, around 170.40, right here, okay? You have a high chance that your trade is going to be a winner towards the end of the day, okay? Now, let's say you entered it, okay? The moment you enter, you also need to get a sense of where you want to stop, where you want to get out, okay? So when we open it up, we don't see the previous Fibonacci levels, okay? We don't see these over here, okay? So one of the ways to get around it is we can do the following. Okay. We can do the following. Let's see. Here's a cheat mode, which is go all the way down on the right side and click more technicals. And you see the Fibonacci levels right here. Okay. You can take a look at the Fibonacci. 168 is your pivot. 152 is your support. 184 is your target. Okay. Now, looking at that, that is quite a lot to be moving in one day. Okay. So instead of using that long-term Fibonacci, what you're going to do is you're going to use the Fibonacci retracement that is set here. Okay. And where were we? We were right here. Okay. Let's move it here. Oh, it's already moved over. Okay, so we can't use this. All right, so let's say, and you don't have to use that particular method. As a matter of fact, let me show you another method that you can use once you enter in a trading position, and that is the Fibonacci cloud. Okay, so this one doesn't show it too well. Okay, but if you were to enter it here, okay, Fibonacci is just, yeah, okay, you could use this. Fibonacci clouds has 3 bands right here, okay, and there are 2 ways for you to exit. Number 1 is you exit it when the candle wick touches this the 3rd flag. This is number 1, number 2, number 3. As it rises, it's finding resistance and it's touching it here. It's even crossing the blue. It's even crossing the yellow. So you're having a confluence of all of these lines right here. And it's kind of telling you that this is a good potential exit. To stay in here longer, could this turn around and make you money? Yeah, it could. But again, you're day trading, you're scalping, you're going in and out. And once you're positive, you want to manage it so that it never turns into a loser. Okay, so you can use this as a confirmation. As a matter of fact, the previous candle, you actually have a sell signal. So when you have a sell signal, let's say you sold it at the bottom end of it, okay, and you sold it like right there. Okay, so you're looking at having gotten into NVIDIA at 171.40 and gotten out at 173.46. Okay, so these are tools that you can use. Fibonacci clouds is something that you would use, especially when it trends up real quickly. What would be a good example? On semiconductor would be a good example. So here's on semi, and it's very jaggedy, okay? But you could actually stay into it even though you have sell signals all the way here until number one, it crosses the yellow line crosses the blue into a death cross, or you have the next one touching the second flag. Okay, once it does that, that's another confirmation that it's not showing strength. As a matter of fact, look at how much it drops. Okay, so you can get out here or you can get out here. But bottom line is you're looking for confirmation as to what to get in and what to get out of. Alrighty, so let me go back to NVIDIA. So use what is available to you. Okay, VWAP. What some people do also is they will follow the VWAP, and as long as it is above the VWAP, they'll stay with it. But the problem is, if you turn off everything else and you just follow the VWAP, okay, you will miss out the top over here, and you'll wind up selling it somewhere down here. Okay, so use it as one of the tools. You can turn it on and off. Okay, use the ones that you get to be comfortable using. Try several, see how you like them. Some of them are good when it's fairly flat, so VWAP is good for that. Some of them are very good when there's a strong trend that is pushing up, and you want to find out, how do I get out of the top? Fibonacci clouds is the best for it. Okay, this one is not ideal for NVIDIA because NVIDIA had come down this much. Okay, as a matter of fact, NVIDIA would have been a great swing from here all the way to here when it touched the second flag. Okay, if you did not use this, if you did not use the Fibonacci clouds, okay, you would have easily gotten out right here. Okay, which is fine, which is okay. Same thing here. Keeps going down, and here's your buy signal, and you would have gotten out here, which is fine. But if you were to swing, okay, and it was this type of a strong trend going down like that, Fibonacci clouds work best for it. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, on a strong trend, I will turn this on and kind of avoid paying too much attention to the buys and the sells and whether it's crossing here, there, and whatnot. And if it's if it doesn't move as much, okay, the trading range is very narrow. That's when I will do and use the VWAP. Okay, so again, this is recorded, so feel free to go back through it and rewatch it, try to relearn it. The questions that I have sent out on chat, you also have it on Telegram. Just go over it and print it out if you want to, or you know, pin it on Telegram and just go through it. Okay, good. So that's how to trade, or at least how to do day trade, or better yet, how I day trade. Okay, there's no one hard and fast rule of how to do it. I would say though, until you are familiar with how I do it, stick to it until you know, you are good at it, and then feel free to add like your indicators that help you make a much better decision, a more confident decision. But you want to be able to draw exits and entries just in case. So that way, whenever you hit those, you realize, hey, I'm hitting resistance. I'm going to see if it goes up above it. If it does, I'm going to try to stick with it. But the moment I see a sell signal, that's when I'm out. Okay. Now, that's your stop loss. So you got your day trading. You use the weekly, the daily. For day trading, for day trading, you will get your stop losses either on the day time frame or using Fibonacci on the 10-minute chart. Alrighty. So Michelle has, how are you reviewing sectors? Could you please go over that as well? Let's see, there are several tools that I use. Here we go. Let me bring this over. So IBD is one of them that I will use. Okay, this will give me a good idea as to which sectors are showing strength. You can also go to Webull, and Webull, as a matter of fact, has different sections where it kind of gives you different sectors and how they're performing pre-market. Okay, this is one of them that I use. Another one that I'll use is on Charles Schwab. There are like automated screeners where I can just click through it and it'll give me kind of like the top, is it top 25 pre-market movers in price wise, top 25 pre-market movers, percentage wise, volume wise, and based on that, I will look for stocks that I'm already familiar with. I try not to use that time to quickly do research on a brand new stock that I have no idea about. Okay, so the cheat code, in a sense, for me in regards to sectors is look at what is trading. Look at what is announcing earnings, basically. And so a couple of days ago, you had, Walmart and Costco. A week ago, you had Home Depot and Lowe's. And today you have Zoom and NVIDIA. Okay. So whenever there's going to be a price gap based upon earnings, or PEG for short, those are the ones that I'm going to be trading. So tomorrow, one of the stocks that I'll be looking for, Zoom, no, sorry, not Zoom, Salesforce. Okay. Is Salesforce, because wow, at one point it was up like 15%. Now it's down 6-7%. So tomorrow morning, if this opens up at like 7% down, okay, here's a potential for me to get into a put because it tends to follow through whenever there is a surprise earnings. It tends to follow through. So right here you had a big jump. This was the jump right here for the last earnings. This candle right here. Okay. From the closing, which was 182, notice how it went up to as high as 188, and it stayed up a good 4 or 5 days. So you had the opportunity to capture this part. is the residual profit that you can capture after earnings, knowing 100% which direction that it went. Okay, so Salesforce is one of the ones that I'm going to look at. NVIDIA is another one that I'm going to look at. And those stocks that are within the same industry, like Intel, it's in a 5-year low. So if NVIDIA did this, then Intel is going to be dragged down as well. Okay, so look for the ones that are in play. Look for the ones that are going to give you volume, because it's volume that's going to give you a quick profit for day trading, especially for you, Michelle, and others. Oh, what are the purple candles? Think of it as bulls and bears, locking horns, and at the end of that 10 minutes, they're both tired, and it ended kind of like a draw. Okay, so now it doesn't have that narrow trading like a Doji, but that's in essence the same effect. Okay, it's kind of like if you see purple, and think of it as like, something is happening here, let me watch. And the VWAP that are using on a daily, it's just VWAP. It's here you go. If you look at, so if I'm looking at VWAP, there is a multi-day VWAP where it represents 5 days. Okay, you can use all 5 if you wanted to. Okay, and kind of turn all of these on, so that way, why is it not showing?
You have to put it on there you go.
There you go. So that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I find these repetitive. Some people use this as support. I just find them repetitive. I just want to know what is the volume weight average for that given day. That's all I want to know right there.
Okay.
Not to mention that it's nice and clean. Okay. Okay. So we got 8 minutes. So let me talk a little bit about the Autobot. The whatchamacallit. So one of our members, his name is Unique, and he knew Python programmers in India who kind of specialize, or they do all these things quite often. And one of the things that I shared with him was like, there are a lot of times when I miss out on stocks that I was watching because it's 10 minutes past, 20, 30 minutes past, and I forgot to take a look at it. I forgot to flip through my list that I have, because, for example, I would have my list of stocks right here, right? And all I have to do is press the down button, and I'm able to take a look at all the different stocks, and very quickly be able to see the open range, see the VWAP, look at the buy-sell signals, and try to catch it that way. Okay, and I said, is there a way to automate it? And he said, yeah, there are a bunch of guys who program in Python, and what they're able to do is do exactly what you do manually automatically. So you know how we go over the checklist, is it above the yellow line, blue line, is it crossing, all of that stuff. The program will do that for you automatically. Okay, and when it does it, and if not, hypothetically speaking, the way it's supposed to work is that if you were to look at that and you go, hey, here is a great entry for a call or a put, okay, the program would actually tell you, and the program will choose it based upon the parameters that the algorithm, the IndicatorPRO has. I was like, no kidding. So talk to the guys, long story short, I'm paying them to create a program. They are finished with the first version. Okay, this Friday, we were supposed to do it Wednesday, but family issue came up for him and his partner. So we're going to be zooming on Friday and go over it, and then start doing beta testing. Okay. Once I tweak whatever I feel like needs to get tweaked, or he feels like it needs to get tweaked, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it available to everybody in our Discord. Okay. And what I want is feedback from everybody, from all y'all. And based upon that, once we kind of finalize it and make it, marketable, that's when we're going to make it public. And at that point, there will be a price point, and there will be, a founder's price where everybody who joins within a certain amount of time, they get to pay that. But once it's over, everybody else, so once the program and everything is over, then there will be a new price, obviously, for the level of service that our Discord will bring to everybody. And that's going to be the new price. But everybody who is in now, nothing changes. You get to keep the same pricing, same subscription. So that's the big benefit, because you are the founder's founder, the charter members, not the founders, So Zoe has joined us. So Zoe, you are part of the charter members. So we'll have that happening, and I'm hoping that it'll work really, really well. If it does, we will have a website with that information available, and start marketing it to people. And anybody and everybody will be able to market it. And that's it. So hopefully doing it that way, we get to capture more winning trades, and therefore more profitable. Okay. Actually, Michelle, everybody in our group will be a beta tester. Okay. So that's the exciting part, because we do in our Discord, we still have about 2/3 of the people who are like basic members. And so hopefully that'll excite them enough to be part of our founders membership. And, the more people who are part of family, more word of mouth will go out there, and a lot more people get to join. So I'll keep you continuously up to date, and we'll go from there. Any questions?
Thanks, CJ.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Zoe, does that help?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. I got more of a clear view on basically the confirmation stuff. Because I was looking at it differently. Like I said, like I would look at the opening, like as soon as it hit 9:30, I'm trying to find, the first signal. But now I know I gotta wait for confirmation, of course, and for the lines to cross, and the 8 confirmations for both bullish and bearish.
Plus, the reason you want to wait like 15, 20, 30 minutes is that you don't want to overpay implied volatility, because that burns up real quick, and it's almost like guaranteeing yourself you're going to lose even though you win. So that's why you want to wait. Let all the pre-orders go right through the system, and let things calm down before you have a clear sense of direction. Because oftentimes, if it goes in one way, one direction, within a half an hour, it'll turn and go the opposite way. That happens a lot more often. So, and one final thing I would encourage you actually is paper trade.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, just paper trade it, because that way you go, okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, this looks like a good entry. Let me try it. You paper trade it, and you go, oh, okay, that wasn't good. I missed something. What did I miss? So that way you get to practice it, and as you keep on asking, the confirmation questions, you get to, you get familiar with using the system. And so that way you're able to really look for, high percentage entries.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Good. So it is 6 o'clock. Y'all have a good evening, and stay green.
All right, CJ, appreciate it, man.
All right. Take care.
You
Thanks,
too.
CJ.
You're welcome.
All right.